Hi traders, welcome to this FXDD video on the euro dollar and pound dollar. My name is Chris from Elite Currency, and before we take a look at the markets, please be aware of this risk disclaimer explaining the fact that trading foreign exchange and global financial markets is considered high risk and may not be suitable for everyone. Please seek the advice of an independent financial advisor for more information on that, and this video is for informational and educational purposes only. Before we take a look at the charts, please be aware of these two links. The top one is the live trading webinars that you can join. Bottom one, live educational webinars. And of course, if you can't join live, make sure to subscribe to the FXDD YouTube channel, and you'll have all the updates of the videos from Ned and myself, plus of course the recordings of these webinars. All right, what a twist and turn of events here on the euro dollar, breaking through 111.25 and the 111.50. So almost a total closing reverse. That is so, in a way, ironic after a pretty good dollar news, I guess, last week. But a total reversal after last week ended up with a wick at the bottom. But this is not a surprise in a way, because look at all these breaks that happened before. On the daily chart, you can look and see that a bit better. All of these breaks, right, didn't go anywhere, and price then quickly reverted back. So a lot of bearish breaks, but a lot of false breakouts, and that created a slow, choppy, corrective channel basically to the downside, and price is doing that again after a pin bar on Thursday. So with last week's wick and 3 bullish candles in a row, I do expect more upside for the moment. But let's not forget that last month was still bearish, so difficult to say about the long-term. Price could still be in kind of this falling wedge pattern, although there was a break. So could be like this channel, for instance, or maybe this kind of pattern. Difficult to say at this moment. Last monthly candle was certainly bearish though, so we got to respect the fact that this could still be a retracement in the long run for more downside and head towards 110, 109, and perhaps 107.50. On the daily chart though, I think it's more clear that this is 3 candles in a row, breaking above the previous top is momentum. So I think that price will hit 112. That could be a bouncing spot due to the broken bottoms here, for instance, the round level as well. So I do think that will be a spot where price might make a retracement back to, for instance, a head and shoulders level like this, 111. Okay, and that could then be, let me give it up this line, that could be a bounce back down here for a bounce, and then a move up to perhaps, for instance, 112.75, which is the 144 EMA on this daily chart here. So I think that could happen. Now, it might not retrace that deep necessarily, because that 111 is actually the low of today's daily candle for the moment, and probably will not change. And today's daily candle is very bullish, so it could happen that a shallower retracement happens, for instance, to the 38 or the 23.6 fib, and that could be a bouncing spot for a move up to the minus 61.8 target. There is a confluence of resistance zone. Also, this level could be a bouncing spot. All of that could be levels where price might head to and bounce back down. For the moment though, last month's monthly high is at around 113.50 plus minus. So I think this minus 61.8 target could be a bouncing spot. Retracement, bounce, and then again a bounce back down for downtrend. That seems the most likely at this moment. But I have to admit that with such a choppy and corrective price action, it is a difficult environment to analyze. And I think that for the moment, what is most clear is that price will make a retracement somewhere in here and then make at least one more bounce up for a continuation higher. Either the 23, 38, or 50 fib, I think, seem the most likely candidates for a bullish continuation up to 112.50 and 112.75. That seems the most likely to me. If I look at the monthly chart, then I think that zone, 112.50, 112.75, let me do that again, could be used for a bouncing spot back down and a continuation of this downtrend. That seems second most likely for the moment, down to 110 and perhaps 109 and 108, 107.50. So pound dollar, I think, is a little bit more clear, a little bit easier to read because of the immense downtrend that the pound has been showing, not only on the pound dollar, the pound yen, and the pound CAD for that matter, and the pound Swiss franc. And there were also strong downtrends in the pound odd and pound New Zealand, although those are seeing some retracement at this moment. But other pound pairs remain bearish. A lot of momentum, specifically the pound yen, very, very strong. But this pound dollar too. and just look at how far price has pulled away from the 144 EMA without really retracing back to it, although you could consider this a bounce as well. In any case, even if we use this as the bouncing spot, lots of movement from that spot, and it seems to me like price is now building a wave 4. This was most likely some type of triangle pattern, and this was most likely some type of wave 3. So if we connect the dots for the moment, it seems like this was a wave 3 of a wave 3 perhaps, or in any case, an extension is possible because of the current corrective price action after a strong momentum and after a strong trend as well to the downside, obviously. So I think that from that perspective, if you look at the 21 EMA angle, if you look at the distance between the 144 and the 21 EMA, very large. If you look at the number of candles that were below the 21 EMA zone, that's tremendous. I think at least 25. So let's check. 18. Well, maybe not that much, but still good enough for me to consider that very strong momentum. And the overall trend, of course, was down. So that was already clear here, even here, when price was making a triangle. So from my perspective, pretty easy, looking for retracement to the weekly pivot point at 122, for instance, and then a continuation lower. A break below this support trend line like this, and a continuation below the 21 EMA. A break basically below these two support trend lines, or one of them at least, is what I'm looking for. Price to retrace, probably hit this weekly pivot point or somewhere stop around this area, max the previous high here at 122.50. Bounce, and then break the support trend line for a continuation. And the most logical target for the moment is the psychological round level of 120. But of course, price could stop earlier a little bit, 120.25, 120.50. Could be levels that price respects as well. But I think that this is pretty clear to me. Momentum down, trend down, retracement, slow, corrective, waiting for this retracement to end, waiting for a break, and continuation down to 120 on this pound. All right, traders, that's it for now. Thanks for joining this video with FXDD. And of course, check out the YouTube channel of FXDD for all the updates or these links to join live in the webinars. Wish you good trading. See you very soon. Cheers.